Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Wilbon and I discuss the Chiefs' chances if Patrick Mahomes cannot play and whether you'd rather start Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers on Sunday. But we begin today with the Brooklyn Nets beating Milwaukee Bucks in a good, tight game last night. Once again, James Harden and Kevin Durant were exceptional. Harden had 34 points and 12 assists. Durant had 30 points and 9 rebounds. And Harden assisted Durant on the three that eventually became the game winner. Well, the Bucks were the number one team in the East in the regular season last year. So is this a sign of things to come?
I don't think this is a sign of anything. It was a hell of a regular season game. Back and forth, a ton of ties and lead changes. I watched every possession after the first quarter. It was fabulous. And so one shot not going in doesn't tell anybody anything in the NBA. This is not the NFL. You still got 72, even though you don't have 82. Now, what it may be a sign of is that the Brooklyn Nets, specifically Kevin Durant and James Harden, are unstoppable. They're unstoppable, the two of them, and playing off each other. And when you have Harden fully engaged again, like he wasn't and didn't care to be for the Houston Rockets, this camp and regular season, when you have Harden engaged this way, where he is giving up the ball and offensive rebounding and finding people and sharing and just committed to it, they're unstoppable. And that's without Kyrie Irving, and that may even hurt him. We can get to that some other time. But those two guys, Tone, they make that team formidable.
Okay, so number one, it's a game in January, so it's meaningless in the greater scheme of things. If it happens in April or May, then we'll talk about it. Number two, Kyrie Irving, as you said, not on the floor. So unless they plan to trade him, which I don't think they do, until he gets on the floor, we're not discussing that team. Do Harden and Durant have great chemistry? Sure they do. And they had it in Oklahoma City. And that's why Durant wanted Harden on this team. Is Harden on his best behavior? Sure he is. Is he showing people he can be a lead guard, an assist guy? Yes, and that gets us back to Kyrie Irving, because Kyrie Irving's probably saying, whoa, hold it a second. That's what I do.
Well, Tony, not initially. Initially, Kyrie will be on his best behavior. It's down the line after hitting a couple of speed bumps that we'll want to see how the next Nets function and communicate and what's it like in the locker room and all that. But right now, Tony, I think it's fair to sit there and look at Harden and Durant. And by the way, there was plenty of reason to look at Durant coming off this injury and say, you know what? Nobody's really done this and gotten back to 100% of MVP form with that particular injury. But he looks to have, Tony. I know it's early.
Yes.
There's a lot of grind to go. But, man, Durant looks great. The shots he hit, the pull-ups, all the things athletically you need to do off two good feet, ankles, Achilles, legs, knees. Durant's doing all that. And with him and Harden, they're a wonder to watch now. I don't want to project that yet, and I know you don't either, but I'm talking about just enjoying what they're doing now.
But I actually do. I mean, short term, you're 100% right. But Kyrie Irving is the elephant not quite in the room yet. There's a finite amount of shots. Right now, they're being shared by 2 people. Down the road, they have to be shared by 3 people. And is Kyrie Irving looking at this? Is he saying to himself, hey, that looks great. I want to be a part of that. Can't wait. Or is he looking at this and saying, whoa, hold on a second. What happened to me? Yeah. So, I mean, I
don't even care what he says.
About the two of them.
I want to see what he does. I want to see what Kyrie does. I don't care what he says, because he'll make it up. He'll say anything, whether it's in defiance or whether it's in, let me get them off my back. He'll say anything like he did to the people in Boston about where he was going to play. He'll say anything. What's he going to do? I want to see what he does over a long stretch of time.
Can I give you a tremendous statistic? Listen to this statistic.
Sure.
I might have to put glasses on to read this. Harden and Durant have 138 points together in their first 2 games. That is second all time. First all time, as you might imagine, is Wilt Chamberlain and a teammate.
Wilt and somebody.
York Larisi. Wilt and York Larisi. York Larisi had 12. Wilt had 139. So by himself, Wilbon, Wilt has done more than Durant and Harden, who had 2 great games.
Wilt. Now, bow your head, boys and girls. Wilt. Let's move to the NFL, Tony, where Patrick Mahomes' status for Sunday is still uncertain. Kansas City star has been subject to the league's concussion protocols ever since he wobbled back to the neutral corner after a third quarter hit against the Browns. He'll have to pass all 5 phases and then get 2 doctors to clear him. Tone, how much will you discount the Chiefs' chances if they have to play without Patrick Mahomes?
So let me first say that there are a lot of reports out there that Mahomes is making progress, and some people are optimistic that he's going to play. But in terms of how much I would discount their chances, I would go 100%, unless you tell me I can go higher than 100%. But if I can't, I will just go 100%. And I don't mean this to be critical of Chad Henne, who did a fine job, and I'm sure is going to be all right. But Mahomes is a wizard. He's the X factor. I mean, Henne came in and made two great plays. He made the scramble, and he made the fourth down throw that everybody said, oh, they're not even going to snap the ball. And those were great plays. He also threw an interception into the end zone that looked like a pillow as 9 guys were waiting to catch it. He's not Patrick Mahomes. Don't even put them in the same sentence. Don't.
No. I might not go 100%, but I might go 95 on discounting if Patrick Mahomes is not available. Now, let's just skip that for a second, because indications increasingly, Tony, since we've come on the air, the indications are people expect Mahomes to practice tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if he's going to practice, he's going to play. But let me just say this about the protocols. And yes, the protocols are in place. But if he's going to practice, that means he will have made obvious improvement through getting through the protocols. The question also becomes his foot. And not if he can't play, but if he can't be himself. Patrick Mahomes' versatility and mobility are central to who he is and how he plays the game. Whether he's extending plays or moving forward to make first downs or running to the sideline or throwing like a maniac on the run. He does all of that with 2 pretty decent feet. If one of those feet is hindered by an injury, a toe injury, whatever it is, that reduces it. How much am I willing to reduce the Chiefs' chances playing against Buffalo? They're still going to be at home, but Josh Allen's pretty damn good on 2 feet himself. Tony, I'm going to take it down to about, 50% if Mahomes isn't able to be Patrick Mahomes, the MVP.
So let's talk about that he is diminished and what that means. Kansas City would then have to win the game on defense. Now, they're capable of that. Again, an interesting statistic here. Kansas City is 10th in points allowed. They played this team earlier in the year. They held Buffalo to 17 points, and they won 26-17. That's where they're going to have to do it seems to me. I think it's dicey. Do I think he's going to play? Sure, I think he's going to play. Without him, I think their chances are terrible. With him in a diminished capacity, I think they are significantly better, but the defense has to be there. We now look forward to the NFC Championship game. No lead-in is necessary here. Wilbon, who would you rather have as your quarterback, Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers?
Tony, I could try to phony it up and come up with the reasons. As I just thought about this story and knowing we were going to raise this question, I didn't know then. I can take either side. I don't know now. I'm not going to know Sunday at kickoff. I'm not going to know. I mean, you got the greatest quarterback of all time, and you've got a guy who, while he has many fewer Super Bowls, 5 fewer in Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback, given where I grew up and the division I follow, the NFC Central, that I have lived most in fear of. I mean, it's gone from Favre to Rodgers. And I can't, Aaron Rodgers is at the height of his powers right now, even at 37 years old. He's having arguably his best season. I'm not going to give you some phony stat. You take one, I'll take the other. I ain't going against Brady anymore. I stupidly did that in August when I made that bet with you about taking Belichick over Brady. That's the only time I've gone against Brady, and I'm not going against him today. So you take it away.
So I will take it away. If you ask me, is it just about quarterbacks? Then right now I will take Aaron Rodgers. Because Aaron Rodgers is at the height of his powers. He's throwing the ball like a dart. He had 50 touchdowns and 5 interceptions this year. Tom Brady had a great year, not just for a 43-year-old where he had the most greatest year of all time.
Yeah, for anybody.
But for anybody. So his numbers are 44, right? 44 touchdowns and 12 interceptions, which is plus 32, which is tremendous. Rodgers is plus 45. Now, it's not just about quarterbacks. And the one time they played this year, Rodgers had his worst game. Tampa Bay got to him, sacked him 4 times, all right, intercepted him twice. His rating after that game, Mike, was 35, and he finished at the year at 121.5. I don't think that's going to happen again. I really don't think it's going to happen again. But you have to factor it in that maybe Tampa Bay as a team has a sense of getting a Rodgers that other teams do not.
I ain't factoring in a word of that. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers had better be aware